did I or am I tapping into a certain level of truth that has altered me? That has altered me forever. It has altered my vibrational field. It has altered the way in which I view this world, the way in which I understand tribalism. It's like I'm never going back to the pre 2016 Alex. I'm forever changed, having seen this form of tribalism here, having seen the only friends that I had here, right, walk away from me forever at the pressure of their wives in some cases, seeing the micro types of interference that have nothing to do with the New World Order or the government, seeing people even in some cases, not now, but in the past, join Patreon just to troll me. Or maybe they thought I was also a member of the right and they had so much money that they just felt like throwing money around and like, oh my God, I didn't realize you weren't with us. You fucking libtard, fuck you. And it's like, I, the idea of someone being, Alex, we understand you. We care about you. We want to show that. That's all gone. Now I'm left with what people can actually tolerate watching me. Now, do you think that that's a sign of things getting better within society, or of things of getting so bad that they could become dangerous to the point where maybe it's better if I not even be doing this for the general public in, say, maybe a year or two? Because society has a way of showing me what it really is and punishing me when I speak my truth, and or rewarding me if it likes my truth at that moment, if it fits in with its consensus. But you got to understand, the things that I talk about are not in line with the consensus of the left. And so even if, right, I don't worship Vladimir Putin and I've been a critic of Russia for years, the other stuff that Alex Ansary talks about on his channel and his past, right, I am marked. I got that mark. Yeah. I'm one of those individuals that has talked about that event that got us in these wars. That doesn't attract people on the left. They put everybody in this category, and you could be someone that accidentally put yourself in the category of left, and you could be a good woman or a good man, and you could just simply be overlooking the heartlessness of other people on the left, the lack of tolerance. And so, again, when we look at the illusions of separation and superiority complexes, especially when you combine it with the gender, i.e., white woman supremacy, that is not to take away from the discrimination to some whites or to some women, but to identify that there actually is a construct of, I am better than you, says her, because of certain things. And certain people are rewarded because their physical bodies and their mentalities is that in which the system wants to promote. So when you study what is promoted most in the news media, what types of women are promoted most, even within the box of white women, what kind of white women? Women that have these types of cheekbones, women that look more or less hybridized with the gray. Let's just get real. Megyn Kelly, anyone? Now, are you going to tell me the look of the Megyn Kelly type chick was big years ago? I don't know. But I do know that the super thin, super tall, supermodel info babe, also look at Russia Today for more info. Although, they don't all have the super tall model thing going on. Some of them have some shorter chicks, but they're all promoting like the super bony, sucked up type of like look. And it's like there's more genetic and beautiful diversity within even the European woman itself to be displayed. And so notice, and they will also use certain other type of women to put up a front that it's becoming a more diverse world. Yeah, the greater reality is they do use gender and racial superiority complexes to make certain things seem more appealing, while others, by physicality alone, a man's gender, a man's height, a man's skin tone, can absolutely bar certain individuals from absolutely in any way coming up to the bar and being able to quote unquote order a drink. And I'm using that as a metaphor. But your world right now teaches an inversion. It teaches an inversion that the government at a base level prefers non-whites or prefers immigrants. But in reality, these propaganda talking points would be used to continue to suppress the people that were already oppressed. I've had a couple of years now of exposing Trump to the best of my ability, and I have never seen any element of the so-called left, nor its women, come over and say, Alex Ansary, we appreciate you. Even though we don't agree on everything, and some of the ideas you propose are just whack, dude, like you're crazy, dude. The other stuff that you're talking about and standing up for real women's rights and warning about human trafficking, Alex Ansary, we thank you. Here's a balloon, and then maybe a little New Year's Eve, one of those little noise makers, where we blow through it right when it's, count down 10, 9, 8, those people are like blowing through those little, where's my celebration? Where's my medal for the courage that I've displayed? Because when I say to you, there's no one like me of my bloodline. That's within the so-called research community. It's mostly whites now with rising black conservatives that are riding their own algorithm train, right? The rise of the Trump-loving black conservatives and the algorithms that support them, that love them. But it's like when you look at someone like me, there is no comparison on a physical level or a information level. And even the things that I talk about spiritually, there's no one that challenges or matches me. Spiritually, I say to you that it seems like your society has been tested, our society. They're massacring millions of people in literally single hand sweeps in drone attacks. It's literally rise of the machines in real time for them. And how many people amongst us are even talking about that? How many people have actually shown me real compassion in the real world outside of maybe 10 YouTube comments a week that show me a sense of compassion or, Alex, we understand. We get you, bro. We get you. I'm not feeling that. And there's a reason why I had to step back from looking at any comments at all, because the sadness at times is so great that it can overtake the host or the speaker. The sense of failure, the sense of feeling like a failure. And what's dangerous, ladies and gentlemen, is when the allegations of some of us being subhuman are so strong that we actually begin to believe the bullshit. Through the lack of love and women in our lives, we actually begin to believe that we're sub-Homo sapien. And that's when things get real. This is a very, very unconscious world. And it is my intention to live long enough to write a great many books, to evolve as a soul to where the gnosis comes through, to where I communicate with a reading audience that wasn't introduced in any way, shape, or form, because there was no one to do that. No one had the interest to say, hey, check out this guy's YouTube channel. No one with a major website would say, hey, check out this Alex Ansary guy. And certainly no one of my father's bloodline. Now study that statement and what it means. You don't actually have to write to me and tell me what you've learned, but if you're on Patreon, you can tell me. It's about the only place where I'll look to see if someone's commenting on my work. Things are quiet. There's no pressure. But I'm pulling back now from the heavily populated alleyways of social media. This includes stepping away from Twitter and Facebook. Would I miss the praise of what few people would give me some praise? Absolutely. I'm a human. But would I see that I would need that type of ninja discipline to rise above needing praise in order to be strong enough to take the next step? Like a bigger man than I was last year in spirit, with a bigger aura, a more powerful one, and not one that I'm afraid is going to scare people if I walk into a dark bar, a smoke-filled bar, right? Like many a nights I would walk in and I would feel the energy of people looking, and people do that anyways, who's coming through that door, but sometimes more so than other times, I'll feel literally a sense of disgust in grocery stores. As I'm going about my way, people will literally turn around before they're even looking at me, with a sense of alarm as to what is this energy or presence that I feel from this person. It feels so strange. Let me act like it's threatening. And like people will turn around and be looking at me with these funny faces constantly. Now, that's not psychosis and seeing things. That's like people like, what the fuck? I don't know what they're feeling, but there's been plenty of times over the years in which this has happened, and my intuition has filled in the blanks as to how some of us, through our own ancestry and the spiritual charge that we have, we could be throwing people off energetically. Their demons, in some cases, that are attached to them could be freaking out, jumping up and down, going, run, motherfucker, run, run, motherfucker, run, feeding the human host with infected thoughts and bad vibes. And so a lot of women that have bad vibes about men, wrongfully so, have no understanding about spiritual attachment, and that most humans have them. You don't see them. You don't necessarily talk to them. But as a being having a human experience, there are going to be forces of influence that think that they own your bloodline, that think that they are the ones that have a right to choose who you're with, who you're attracted to, and who you're disgusted by.